Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Elena and holy fuck, this is the longest I've ever spent on any single thing in like The Sims and probably in my life. The footage for this, and mind you I did not even record all of it, like there's about 5 attempts before this video starts and a bunch of periods like in the middle of it where I just didn't record something because I thought it wasn't interesting. But even with all of that, I wish I was shitting you 20 hours of footage. 20. So this is sped up like crazy, which makes me look like a much more competent builder than I actually am. Thank you very much. This is a rainbow mansion. I made it, I don't know, because I'm home on Christmas break and my parents sometimes say shitty things. And I like to escape to my room and make gay houses. It's fine. But yeah, this is, I will make a household for this place, eventually, like, when I get around to it, of, like, Sims that are individually, like, every color, like, they dress and their hair and all that good stuff, which is something that I've done before. That's, like, one of my favorite things to do. I used to all the time when I was, like, not that into The Sims, but I would like pick it up and play it for like 3 days straight kind of a thing, is to just make like a household where like one Sim dressed in all red and one dressed in all orange and one dressed in all, you know what I'm talking about. So because 8 Sim household limit, there's 9 bedrooms. One of them is white and that's like the guest bedroom, and then the vast majority of like the outside of the house and all the communal areas are like also very white and gray kind of toned, so it made sense to me that like the guest room would be totally white as well, which I just really like making rooms that are all one color. This is all about me, you guys. We already know this. I'm Jenna Marblesing. You can't tell me what to do. But yeah, so the white guest bedroom, and then the other bedroom that's on the right side of the house is black, and then on the top floor, there are a red, an orange, a yellow, a blue, a purple, and a pink bedroom. And then in the back here, what I'm kind of working on right now, but it's like really ugly, and I redid that later. Don't worry about it. Was the green bedroom. So basically, what my concept is that you have 8 adult Sims. I didn't make any like kids or teenagers rooms. All living in the same mansion, just being a happy little rainbow, and it's cute. So it's very bougie. I used a lot of Get Famous build items just because, it's a new pack and it's exciting. So most of the outside of the house is very like Get Famous-y, the windows and the doors mostly, but you know what I mean. And then I used a bunch of reference images of like different like, I didn't want it to be super McMansion-y, but I feel like this is maybe like an old expensive house, like an old, I don't know, manor house type of deal that's been renovated. So the outside of it is still pretty classic looking. The front yard is very, very like traditional. And then the backyard's a little bit more contemporary, and all of the inside decorations on all the like inside communal areas are very like modern looking. And then each of the bedrooms has its own like little personality and stuff, because that's what's fun for me to do. And once again, it's all about me. I really I had a lot of fun doing this. It did take me, again, 20 hours of my own time that I decided it was a good idea to spend it on this. I'm 22 years old, and I was like, it's going to be a great idea, spending 20 hours building one single house on The Sims, and then speeding it up so fast you almost can't tell what's happening in the build. I didn't want to have to commentate on this for 2 hours. I don't feel like I have 2 hours worth of things to say about it. So this is at 20 times. Like, I'm sorry, it might hurt a little bit to watch. It does really get my goat that little icon in the top left corner is like binging over and over again. I'm so sorry. I just didn't notice it while I was building, so you're just gonna have to cope with it now. So It has like a big big entryway, with the double staircase and the 2-story foyer and all that stuff. Like, again, I feel like these maybe aren't people with like the best taste in the entire world. They're just fun. I thought originally that all the bedrooms would be upstairs, and I would just have 7 of them. So I do still have like 3 on each side, but then the middle chunk is just like, again, a giant entryway. The outside, I wanted it to be like classic. I know I built it in Del Sol Valley or whatever, but that's mostly just because it was the new neighborhood and I was intrigued by it. So it probably would fit in a little bit better in like maybe Brindleton Bay or something like that. Not Brindleton Bay, sorry. Maybe the Get Together Pack one. What is it called? That neighborhood, though. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I kept all of the outside of it very, very like pristine and like traditional. Again, like I've got the window boxes and everything, but it looks a little clinical. And then I do have, oh my god, this is physically painful for me to watch. Do you know how long I spent lining up all these bushes and then realizing, oh, there's just a fence that's made of bushes and I'm an idiot? It hurts. This hurts me to watch because this is sped up 20 times. What you're watching, it took me 20 times that long to do it. And I made it almost all the way around the entire house. So kill me. But yes, I did give it a little fence around the entire thing and like a little hedge fence around the entire thing. And I filled in the middle part with like a moat because why not? Because I can. I just was having fun with it, using a lot of build functions that I've seen other people do, but I haven't ever done before. Yeah. I think I did make a renovated version of the my ancient, long abandoned, but I'll get back to it, I promise, cult Let's Play. They have like a house that has a little moat around it just because I thought it made like a little creepy. It added something creepy. So this house also has a moat. And except for this isn't a creepy house. They just have like crazy money. This house total actually is 500,000 simoleons and change, which isn't as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. When I was building it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, how much money is this going to be? Is this even going to load? Like, every time I reopened it, I was like, is this going to load? Is it going to load? I don't know. Yeah. So there's a lot of times where I'm just playing with things, and then I don't end up using them. 20 hours of footage, fam. 20 hours. But, yeah. What matters is that we made friends and had fun. And by made friends, I mean I got to avoid some of my relatives that I didn't want to talk to. Yeah, there's, great, the game options. I know that's fascinating for you. Yeah, so downstairs, everything is white. This bedroom that I'm working on right now is like the white guest room. Obviously, there's not a whole lot going on in there because it's not having an occupant made for it. I might still make like an all-white sim just because why not, you know? That's what I asked myself the entire build was, why not, you know? Why wouldn't I do that? So I guess I could have individually uploaded each of the bedrooms as their own thing, but again, like in speed builds, I just don't think I have as much to say. I didn't record myself building a lot of the white guest room, which is fine, because again, not a whole lot of personality in here, but I did try and make it kind of like, you know, the type of people who would have an all-white design scheme in their house. It's like, this is that person's room. Like, it's very kind of Pinteresty, like the kind of person who thinks that they're the only one who knows the word hygge, however you say that. They've got a bathroom full of right now it's full of the Get Famous bathroom stuff, because I was like, that's going to be fun. I ended up changing the whole thing. It's fine. Yeah. Just adjust the desk a million times. Good job. Yeah, I feel like the guest bedroom is just kind of like, you stay in it and you feel like, oh, these people are better than me. That's just how life is right now. And you would be right. They are better than you. It has everything you could possibly need, including every white decoration in the entire catalog. It's got a little closet in the bathroom. Because it's a mansion, I like wanted it to be an actual mansion. So I all the bedrooms are like big. They each have their own bathroom because it's just more fun to make an all red bathroom. Good. We love that the phone is ringing right now. I hope you can hear that the phone's ringing. Yeah, so then the white bathroom is all like the fitness bathroom stuff pretty much. And yeah, it's clean. You would not feel like you could touch anything in this house is what I'm feeling. Yeah, I really tried hard on every single part of it. So there's that. The black bedroom, this one was fun. So I just kind of went with what was kind of available in black. With each of the colors, I like went with what do they have? All right, what kind of sim could live in a room that has those things in it, and then like build that room around them. So for the black design elements, a lot of them are very like luxe and very fancy, or they're super goth. And I don't really want to do like a super goth room for this particular part of the house. So I gave them like that all black sauna room, mostly because I built one in my like pumpkin house that I really liked, and I never got to use it because obviously I'm never going to play in the pumpkin house. So they have like their own sauna with all black walls, and they have this like bougie wallpaper. So my vision for them is that they're just like high maintenance and artsy. I haven't made the sim to fit in it yet, but something about this room makes me think it's probably a dude sim. I don't know. Everything's like expensive, very aesthetically pleasing, like lots and lots of those. I think I put a mannequin torso in here at one point just because anybody who lives in a room that is 100% all decorated in black is going to be like a little edgy, but edgy in a way where they're like, oh, it's just, I'm so sophisticated. That's it. This is the room of somebody who like feels very sophisticated, and they want you to also understand that they're sophisticated. Pretentious, I think maybe is the word I'm looking for. Like, what would Daniel Howell's room look like if he could follow all of his worst, bougiest instincts? So another fun thing about this is that you can just kind of go into like the hobbies and activities and see what pops up for different colors, and then you can kind of design the sim around that. So they have like a drawing tablet and a guitar, so they're like artsy, like graphic design-y type of person. They might be the lifestyle influencer career because I haven't played that ever, and so that would be fun. For a lot of them, the bathrooms don't necessarily match the rooms that are supposed to go with them, just because like of the things that are available in different colors. But I tried hard on every single part of this. So you better appreciate it. Including putting paintings in bathrooms, because that's what like a sane person does, I guess. Everything's very decorated. For this room, I was pretty strict about like what's allowed to be in here, like what color, so everything like came from just putting in like sort by black in this particular room. But in the other rooms, I kind of let them, because I feel like black works as a monochrome thing and white works as a monochrome thing, but like red, no, it does not. I already tried building an all red house. It's ugly, it's on the channel. You can go look at it. You can understand right now that it's super ugly. So the little mannequin thing and the random the random vase full of like reeds and stuff, it seemed correct. And then for the big foyer, I wanted it to be like, pretentious. Like these are people with like so much money, and I also had to give myself enough room to 9 bedrooms. So the living spaces are gigantic as well. With all of the living areas, they're very monochrome, very like, monochrome, modern, like a little bit tasteless. So I did end up changing the railings, by the way, in case you were concerned. I know that they're ugly. But yeah, so the main entryway got like the piano and the fancy decorations and things. Lots of marble. Like this is a house of people who just really get a big boner for marble. And marble and wrought iron, I think. Those are the 2 acceptable building materials in this household. In the Roy G. Biv household. And they've just got like those inexplicable like decorations. I really hate looking at my houses and realizing that there's not something, that there's just like a blank space. It really bothers me when I see that in my own homes that I build, and I tend to do it a lot. So for this one, because I was home on break and I could spend literally 20 hours on it, I went hard. So every wall has a decoration on it, like everything. These two little bathrooms are also like kind of all white. And they're exactly the same, so have so much fun watching me build the exact same bathroom twice. Yeah, these are like, your guest bathrooms. The ones that, again, you walk into this house and you're like, oh no, I can't touch anything in here, can I? I'm very sorry about the lights that I was building with. I don't know why I did those ones. It was a moment of insanity, and don't worry, I do change them to those like cannula ones or whatever they're called, that are, like, lie really nice and flat against the ceiling. So don't worry about it. I know you were super worried. Also, don't worry about the rose bushes being orange. That'll get taken care of. Everything is fine. I keep checking to make sure that my garage band isn't crashing. Because let me tell you, if I recorded an hour-long voiceover and none of it actually got recorded, I would scream and cry. And I would do it into the microphone and then upload it as the background audio for this video so that everybody else has to understand my trauma. Yeah, I gave them a little laundry room. They have, like, truly everything but, like, a movie theater in this house. Mostly because the movie theater would not look cool if it was all white. So they have, like, laundry room, 2 guest bathrooms, and then, yeah, two just, like, main floor bathrooms, guest bedroom and bathroom, big kitchen, and then 2 dining rooms, like a formal one and, like, an informal one, and 2 living rooms, a formal one and an informal one. But those are kind of lumped together a little bit the way that they were in the pumpkin house, with, like, the formal one kind of back to back with the more chill family one. So the formal one is, like, extremely, everything's, like, pristine white. It doesn't look like a fun place to hang out at all. And then the informal one is a little bit more, like, lived in. I find myself doing that a lot when I'm trying to build really big houses. For some reason, it just seems easier. It seems like it makes more sense for me to have somebody to have, like, 2 living rooms. Yeah, so I'm using, like, a lot of the fitness, like, design things, just because I felt like that sort of abstract look went well with my idea for the house. And with these chairs, I was trying to come up with a way for there to be, because, like, each of them has their own signature color. So I thought, like, oh, I'll give them each a chair in their own color. And then I realized that was dumb. So I did that in a different part of the house. You'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, everything's, like, sort of, like, industrial and raw material, and, again, marble. Just hella marble everywhere. Everywhere there is marble. Yeah. The dining room still looks a little bit empty to me, but I couldn't think of what else to put in there. They already have, like, a full bar, and then this entire, like, side table thing, and then, like, a giant table. I had in the first, like, giant house I ever built, which was for a legacy, where one of them had, like, the mansion aspiration. I gave them, like, a double dining room, kind of, where they were, like, 2 giant tables next to each other, but I noticed that you literally, there's never any reason for that. Ever. All you get is Sims, like, sitting next to each other at 2 tables that don't need to be there. The kitchen I really do like. It's again, sort of that, like, I have a Pinterest board of things that I want my house to look like, and now I have just so much money that I can make my house look exactly like I wanted it. I know that made a whole lot of sense, but yeah, big kitchen, 2 refrigerators, I think, in the end, which is fun, just because I feel like, okay, a double stove is, like, I'm rich and I have skills, right? Double refrigerator is, like, I'm rich and I don't want you in my way. Like, this is not the house of people who particularly, like, meld their interests together all that well, I don't think. Plus, to me, it's more functional in-game for there to be 2 refrigerators than 2 ovens. I almost never have 2 Sims making food at the same time. I have a lot of times, like, 2 Sims getting leftovers at the same time. So, that's that, Double sinks, because we actually do have that in my kitchen at home, and that's super useful. And yeah, I was really just trying to fill it up. I also get the feeling that these are not people that, like, cook for themselves a lot. they get like gourmet takeout. Like they get Postmates from like 5-star restaurants or 3-star. How many stars can you have as a restaurant? I always get into this little thing with kitchens where, again, in really big houses, in order to have bedrooms be as big as I want them to be, like the bottom floor ends up being just like enormous. Yeah, I skipped a little bit of the kitchen decorating. Yeah, like the rooms in the rest of the house have to be kind of huge. So we've got this giant kitchen, and I'm just kind of like throwing things into it. But I hate having a whole bunch of appliances that can have things that are going bad in them. That just really gets my goat. So I tried not to overload them with like tea makers and ice cream makers and stuff like that. It's always the ice cream maker that gets me, because for some reason, if your sim has an ice cream maker, they gain weight like 40 times as fast. Which, like, it's not realistic. Anyway, yeah, here's the little living rooms. Yeah, the dining room back here is the kind of like one that the whole family would actually be in sometimes. So it's about 20 times as colorful as anything else that's on this floor. I really, I wanted them to have a place where they can really be themselves. But I didn't want to make the whole house rainbow because that would have been so ugly. Yeah, so I thought it was cute that they all have their own like little chairs and things in their own color, because in the dining room we accept each other or something. Do you like my totally inexplicable chimney that's just in the middle of the house? I always get into these weird like conundrums that aren't actually conundrums, where I'm like, oh no, but the chimney has to be on the outside of the house because that's how it is on real houses. It doesn't matter. It's The Sims. Like, that's not a functionality. The bookcases next to the fireplace, it was very important to me that they look like built-ins. So, they do. Yeah, I wanted to incorporate the rainbow Christmas trees so bad. I think there end up being 2 rainbow Christmas trees in the house. So, yeah, the dining room is still ugly. Like, again, I had one room that was supposed to be, like, rainbow, and it's ugly. And that's okay. That's the way that it is sometimes. But, yeah, I hop around a lot on the bottom floor because I just get ideas for different parts of the house. So, apologies in advance. But, yeah, I went with a lot of the, like, mid-century modern furniture for, like, the formal half, and then a lot of, like, cozy, squishy furniture for the informal half of the living room, And they have, like, their giant TV, although it could have been bigger. I just want to say that. Could have been bigger. And even in the informal part of the living room, there's, like, a little bit more, there's a little bit more color going on. It's a little bit more interesting to look at. There's less marble. Do you see the amount of marble that I'm working with right now? It's embarrassing. I did forget to put curtains in until I had already uploaded it to the gallery, like curtains in this particular room. So I went back and did that, but you won't see it on the video. But I promise that they are there, IRL. Yeah, I had a huge, just this like huge empty space to the left of the living room, like between the entryway and the living rooms, which I put a dance floor in, because why not, I guess. So it has like a little record player by it and a dance floor, so if your Sims wanted to rage, they can, I suppose. Living rooms are always like a little weird to decorate to me, because I always make them too big, and then I just have to throw like random shit in there. But sometimes like that that's like the 5th time I've said this so far. Yeah, so we've got like your Don't Wake the Llama game, and an aquarium for a second there, and then My First Pet thing that looked absolutely hideous, so bye-bye. I ended up putting an aquarium down here somewhere and putting like a rainbow fish in it. I don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants. I don't actually know how to build in The Sims. I just have a lot of feelings. Tested out a billion different little dividers for the 2 rooms because I wanted them to seem more separate than they do, but we tried. We might have failed a little bit, but the important thing is that the effort was made. And now I know where a lot of stuff is in build mode that I did not know where it was before. Beautiful. I know that this is just such a great journey that you get to come on with me. See, even the laundry room, I was like, it has to be beautiful. It has to have the perfect rug. It has to have the perfect plants on the counters. It was truly just how much time can I waste on this house? Yeah, I put that little rainbow painting in there, that one that you can see to the right now, just because I was like, yeah, it's their rainbow, like, family. They can have a little bit of art in their living room. So, yeah, this is one thing I will say I fuck with heavily from the Get Famous build mode items, which I really like a lot of the build stuff from Get Famous. But is that, like, one record player that's super vintagey and cool looking? Yeah, I'm just throwing a rain. See, it's ugly. It's very ugly, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that I had fun. Yeah, but I really like the record player, like, gramophone thing from Get Famous. It's really pretty. I appreciate it. You'll notice that I didn't show you all the time I spent decorating that one little area with the piano, so you're welcome. At this point in the build, and in everything except for the screenshots, the entire outside of the house and the entire inside of the house are, like, just white paint. It ends up looking super stupid on the outside of the house, but I promise I do change it to, like, the plaster later. Okay, so, this is the fun part. I was already kind of familiar with a lot of the red build mode items, because I'd done, like, a red's, like, solid color build thing, a couple months ago. But I didn't want to just build, like, the exact same thing that I did then, which was, like, vampire parents and their, like, overdramatic daughter. So for this one, I went very, like, Victorian and, like, bougie, but in a dilapidated kind of way. Like somebody's living in their family's ancestral manor home, and, like, things have gone downhill for them ever since Great Uncle Edwin spent all the family fortune on the ponies or something like that. But really, because you can tell that this is, like, just one room of the house, it's just because this person is so extra. They're just I put cobwebs in here for no reason. Like, the bottom of the house is pristine, but this sim has to have cobwebs in their room, for the aesthetic. And I didn't want it to be all red and black, because again, goth, it was kind of boring to me, so I made it very red and white. It is still very, like, gothic, but in that, like, classic literary sense, where, like, probably there's somebody hidden in the bathroom all the time who has, like, terrible nerves, and so she can't leave the house. And then it's very cluttered, visually and literally. I'm sorry about I think I left the room for a solid, like, half hour at some point in the build. We'll see how long this goes on, and decide whether or not we're going to try and fast forward through it. I don't know. I was gone for, like, an hour, huh? Like, again, this is sped up 20 times, and I just left it recording. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're beautiful. I think I literally, in that pause, I went and ate dinner and came back. So, that's how long this took. Yeah, the wallpaper, there was no way for this room to not look like an absolute shit show. So I just kind of leaned into it. There's a little, like, reading nook, and, the closet bathroom. There's a little reading nook. There's the piano taking up, like, the entire middle of the room. There's, like, a writing desk. Notice without a computer on it, because that's, like, too modern. They can't have that. I kind of was working off of the season 2 of Carmilla, you know what I mean? Like, that aesthetic where they're living in the dean's house. I'm just assuming that you have all the same, like, weird cultural references that I do. But, yeah, I actually like the way that this turned out a lot better than I liked my original, like, all red build. So, we're improving as a builder, I guess. I haven't play tested this yet, so a lot of the furniture is probably too close together for Sims to, like, walk through. I'm looking at you, piano and coffee table, but we'll see. I'll, like, actually play test it before I upload it, and then I'll put a note in, like, here that tells you what you need to know. And I'll change everything. No, I won't. I'm not going to change it. I'll just tell you if it's walkable or not. So yeah, very old-timey bathroom. I didn't really love this bathroom, just fine. And then, lots and lots of, like, roses and, like, I don't know, bone goth type decorations. Again, like, the cobwebs in the corner, all that stuff. But yeah, that's the red room. Dramatic sim, a lot of feelings. Really, really got into Jane Eyre. That's the vibe. So the orange room, this one is like, it necessarily had a little bit less personality because all the good orange decorative items are, like, I don't know. They're not like bland, but they don't have like a specific aesthetic to them. Again, I've done a solid color build with just orange before, so I knew what I was getting into a little bit more. So for my concept for this is that it's like a little bit more boho chic, and then get a text, and then the sim who's living there, I ended up putting in like a chess table, I think. I couldn't fit, unfortunately the orange and the purple rooms are smaller than the other ones, which actually ends up working fine because orange and purple are hard to do. But for this room, I gave them a little chess table and tried to, maybe they're like, my concept is they're like the intellectual, like family-oriented one. And so the room is like it doesn't have like a crazy amount of personality, but it does have everything that you would need for your like nerdy sim that wants everybody to just get along. Like this sim is the girl from Mean Girls who's like, I want to bake a cake full of rainbows and butterflies and we could all be happy like we were in middle school. Which to me is one of the stupidest moments of Mean Girls because nobody was happy in middle school. People were so much meaner in middle school, at least in my experience, but whatever, girl. Anyway, so that's the orange room. There's a violin, I think, and then the chess table. So like Sherlock Holmesy type person. I think that they would get along with the red one on the whole vintage, like, I was born in the wrong era kind of deal. You'll notice that they have a balcony. I didn't put a door there. I do eventually put a door there. Don't worry about it. There is a door from this room to that balcony. So they get a little bit of extra space to make up for the fact that they got shafted in terms of room square footage. I used a lot of like holiday decorations just for shits and gigs, I guess. Yeah. So like they have like the decoration bucket in their room. So there's actually a couple of those in the house, but it just seemed correct that this is like the sim who's like, okay, it's Christmas, like let's get out the tradition things, let's hide the pickle on the Christmas tree or whatever they do. Yeah, and then this is okay. I know it's kind of ugly, but isn't this linoleum floor so cute though? Like bowling night really went off, and she didn't have to. This like bathroom I also got done pretty quickly because I have already spent quite a bit of time looking at the orange build options. So yeah, that's like the homey intellectual sim. Big nerd, but not super like, I need to get out of here and start living my real life kind of a thing. Yeah, so the yellow one, I was very hyped to use all of those stupid bougie get famous bathroom things. So like the solid gold toilet, it's in this bedroom. Like it. I was so excited to do that. So the whole bedroom, like the theme that I kind of went with was just how bougie can you go? And the answer is very. The answer is very bougie. Solid gold toilet, solid gold sink. If they had a solid gold bathtub, I would have given them that. Like, this sim has expensive taste and also not really a whole lot of aesthetic taste. So yeah, it turns out this room is incredibly tacky and like poorly designed, but I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, like, have you seen those extremely cursed photos of like the Trump Tower, like the Trump family's little apartment? Not little, they're like giant apartment that probably costs $1 bajillion a month, and everything is made of gold. That's like almost what this looks like to me, except for this sim is going to be more likable. But yeah, so this is the social climber. This is the like, hello, I'm here, I'm wearing Gucci, please notice me. If you're not wearing Gucci, we probably aren't going to talk very much. So yeah, I used a lot it's very yellow in like the gold sense, but then I did use a lot of like white and black elements because you literally just can't have it be all gold. It hurts your eyeballs too much. Yeah, we're already 34 minutes into the voiceover. This is going amazing. Yeah, they have, like, a whole big closet section over there next to the door because, again, like, I'm here, I'm wearing Gucci, are you? I didn't think so. And then the floor color I ended up changing just because it didn't. I wanted to be able to zoom out and, like, look at all the rooms and be like, yeah, it's a little rainbow. But it didn't really work because the yellow room had too pale of a floor, so I changed it later. Yeah, lots of luxury, not luxury party, lots of vintage glamour items, lots of Get Famous items. Those are the only two acceptable design. Oh no, did I leave the curtains uneven like that? Oh, this is gonna kill me. Please tell me I fix it. I don't think I fix it, you guys. I think the curtains are, like, wonky still, even in the version I uploaded to the gallery. I just need a minute. Okay, I'm over it. Yeah, so I took a while kind of deciding, like, what I wanted there to be in the middle of the room, because I wanted there to be, like, an activity, like there are in other people's rooms, and like, I didn't want to count, like, getting dressed as an activity, so I ended up putting a little, like, one of those hookah tables in there. So again, like, social climber, probably went abroad to, like, Barcelona or something like that, for a while. Yeah, there's I spent a long time fixing the carpets, forgot to record it, spent a long time choosing the hookah thing, forgot to record it. It'd be like that. So yeah, now we're going over to the blue room. The green room, I think, is actually my favorite, so that's, like, why I skipped it, because I knew I was going to get really into it. And I wanted to end on a high note. So the blue room is, like, the blue sim is, like, fitness, like, extremely jock, extremely healthy. Sorry for the interruption there. I was staying at home for the past couple weeks, as I said, and my parents came home. And as much as I love and want to share my interests with them, I still do feel a little bit like an overgrown child for having a YouTube channel, especially one about playing The Sims. Anyway, yeah, this is the sporty sim room. I gotta be honest, this isn't my personal favorite, but I did feel like this was a necessary type of sim to have, you know what I'm saying? One big thing that somehow got messed up in the course of me making this room is that in the version of this that I uploaded to the gallery, no shit, there is no door. Like, there's no bedroom door. I don't know how that happened. Like, there was a point in the saving process where I lost, like, the desk in the corner and I had to, like, rebuild that. So the version on the gallery actually looks a little bit different than what like, that particular corner of the room looks a little bit different than what I put, than what's in the video. But that's neither here nor there. It's still fine. It's still a good room. But yeah, like I said, this wasn't my favorite one, just because this is exactly the opposite of my style. It's, like, more minimalistic. LOL, minimalistic. I put, like, 3 rugs down. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit less, like, flowery and feminine and, like, overdone, which is very much my style of decoration. But it was, like, okay, so I'm in a Sims group on Facebook based on the My Favorite Murder show. Shout out to the Simmerinos. They're the only thing that I go on Facebook for. But I posted this, and this was somebody's favorite room. Like, somebody commented and was like, oh my god, the blue room. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. So, you know, maybe the blue room's not so bad. There also I might realize, like, as I'm watching this, that the corner in this blue room, like, I just never actually finished it. And so that's why there's no decorations. But anyway. Yeah, so I added, like, off-screen, kind of, I added a couple, like, plants and things to the desk just to make it a little bit less bare. And I think there's, like, a box and a filing thing. I don't know. I was trying to play with the personality of the sim because, like, as somebody who's aggressively unsporty, I don't know what that lifestyle is like. You feel? Like, I have no clue what's going on in the head of somebody who's super jockish. So I was literally imagining one of my cousins who is extremely athletic. He's, like, he's a big nerd in the first place. He's in medical school right now. But he's super athletic. Like, he worked at a gym for a while. He just genuinely enjoys working out. It makes him feel, like, centered and, like, capable and all that stuff. So I kind of was like, what would Joe want in a room? Although I already started making the, like, family that will live here because, of course, like, the only thing I ever want to do is make, like, each color of sim. Like, that's always the first thing that I do when I reopen The Sims after a long time, or that I always did as a kid. But I did, so I did already start making them, and they're all girls. Frankly, just because I like making girl Sims more, and also because I thought it was fun, the idea of, like, 8 sisters, and I didn't really want to, like, have to, I don't know, like, assign all the genders of each of these rooms. Like, that just seemed weird to me, so I just made them all girls. I might make an all-boy version, I don't know, but, because I really think any of these rooms could work for whatever. They just have to be the right personality. So, the purple room, like, if you just saw, I went straight to, this is the strategy that I built up as I did this, is that you go straight to hobbies and you put the color in, because that's bound to be the one that's the most limited, so you can kind of design the room around, like, the hobbies that are available there. So for this one, it was the video game, that, like, big video game console, and the piano, which I ended up not keeping the giant, like, arcade thing, because how can you possibly incorporate that into a house? See, right now, isn't this, like, the ugliest thing you've ever seen? So I ended up making the room itself a lot more, like, pastel and, like, crafty and stuff, because, like, this little dungeon in the corner didn't make a whole lot of sense and whatever, so, I ended up getting rid of that, but I did put, like, a specific video game, like, corner in this room, and I tried to keep it, like, kind of geeky, so hopefully it works. I do actually really like the purple room, like, quite a bit. I think this is the one that if I moved into this house, that would be mine. Or the orange one. The orange one's just cute. But, yeah, so the purple actually, like, I did not expect this at all, but purple was 100% the hardest, like, thing to, like, the hardest color to furnish an entire room with. I don't know why, but there's, like, no purple swatches of anything, which seems weird to me. Like, it seems like purple would be a really common color for, like, living spaces and things like that. But I don't know. There was, like, literally, if you saw, there was literally one purple counter. There's, like, 4 purple beds. There's nothing. There's no purple, like, bathroom stuff at all, which that tends to be one of the things that there just isn't as much of, because, like, why would you have a purple toilet, I guess? But I did try and make it, like, as purple as I could. To me, that shower is, like, a very pale lavender, right? Look, let me live. But yeah, so the purple room is super cluttery. It kind of had to be based on the door, like the purple door that's available. It's super crafty. I didn't want there to be any, like, kids in this house necessarily, because, I don't know, I just like making equivalent things. And to me, like, having just a random teen room in the middle of all these adult rooms, because there is probably more options for, like, building a teen room. But I do think that this bedroom could work for, like, a young person. Like, there's not a whole lot of adults that would want to live in a room like this. But yeah, if you can say, I cluttered it up a ton, because that's just, like, the way that it looked best with all the different options. There's a lot of, like, bright colors in it. Like, there's a lot of, like, tones of, like, bright pink and bright teal, which, again, is not exactly my personal style, but it's what worked with what we had. I did really like that these curtains matched the bed. I was like, yeah, they went to Target. And they got a matching set of things. But yeah, so it definitely does have, like, much more of a youthful feel to it than, like, say, the black room does. The black room is, like, very severe and artsy, whereas this one is, like, cutesy and, I don't know, like, whatever. It's fun. But it's like, I spent a while trying to decide, like, what swatches of everything I liked, because to me this is, like, the dumbest thing ever, but it was, like, kind of important that I could zoom out of the room and look, like, zoom all the way out of the house and look and be like, ah, yes, red and green and yellow and all that. Like, I wanted to be able to see them from a distance, and I couldn't quite with this, because as you saw, there's 2 options for purple flooring, I think. Maybe, like, there's, like, not many at all. The only bearable one was this tile, and the only one that I could, like, find stuff to match with. Like, there's an insanely bright purple basketball floor, which was an eyesore no matter what you put it with. Like, maybe it could work if you did, like, very pale, like, if you did, like, all white furniture with, like, tiny little, like, pops of plants and stuff like that, maybe that floor could work with, like, a ton of rugs over it. But then you have to take away all the purpleness of it. So, no, didn't like it, didn't keep it. But yeah, I do really like the way that this turned out. I feel like I felt a little bit like I was getting into just sort of, like, a slump with the layout of the rooms. Like, I wanted them to all be different. And so with this one, yeah, I divided it up into those little sections. You've got your, like, little piano thing, and then the couch in the corner where you can read, and then this little, like, nerdy corner.
So yeah, and I also like, if I can find a way to work in the TV to the room that's not like putting it right at the end of the bed, because that ends up looking really weird, especially in screenshots, as I found out when I tried to screenshot all of these. Yeah, that's the purple lady. So she'll be like geeky and kind of, I think, have the childish trait or something like that, just because that's what speaks to me in that room. The pink room was fun. I tried to like make it an acceptable incorporation of all the pinks, because I didn't just want it to be like uber baby pink, like everything is like very pale and light, and like that just didn't like it. But this room ended up being like the beauty influencer room. I ended up putting I started out with that like vet thing, because I thought it would be fun for the purple person to be like the STEMmy, like I love animals and I want to do surgery kind of, you know. I thought that was like a little bit weird, but or not weird, I thought it was fun. But then A, it looks ugly, and B, I did not leave enough space in this household for you to have any animals, so it would kind of suck to like try and have a vet sim with no animals. But yeah, so I really, really love this bathroom, actually. I think the bathroom is like, this might be my favorite one. And yeah, this gives off similar vibes to the yellow room, I think, because it's very like expensive and I don't know, yeah, expensive and overdone and over decorated and stuff like that. So I feel like the yellow and the pink Sims will like get along. But it was like, there was some stuff where it kind of, I tried to work in like hot pink in a couple places where I could, especially because the swatches of like the social media stuff that were pink were bright pink. So there's the makeup, the bright pink makeup chair, and then the bright pink like drone. So I tried to put those in and then incorporate enough bright pink stuff to make it look natural, because right now it looks very like, hello, I'm a princess, like exactly what you would expect from a pink room, which I'll admit that I was not super creative with that whole like the pink room is for the makeup guru, but I don't care, you know, I just don't care. I wanted it to be like this, god damn it. And I wanted to play with the social media influencer career, so I'm right, you're wrong, shut up. Obviously had to give her the closet because beauty guru. The lighting situation was annoying because so much of the pink lights are like the old-timey, like warm whatever, which I didn't really like the way that lighting looked. So I went through later, like I've tested it out, just changing the ceiling light and everything to be like the cool white instead of the warm white. And it looks a lot better. But yeah, you can see I had like a little bit there where I was like, will it be a super modern room or whatever? And I tried putting in actually the exact same bed that is in the other room, but I wanted these to be distinct. So this is like the more like traditionally girly, like obviously it's traditionally girly because it's all pink, but this is the more like flowery, decorative, whatever, whereas the other room is like kind of, it's trying to be a little bit more like mod, almost like a little bit 1920s-ish, but this has like the princess, it's like a princess room. Like you can't really make a pink bedroom and not have it be a princess room. It's just not possible. But yeah, I did have fun, like just incorporating a whole ton of different things. I did, yeah, I cut out a lot of it, hopefully, or you'll just get to see me incorporate the fish in. But yeah, so I wanted so badly for that fish coffee table to have some slots for you to add fish in. Sadly, it does not. I tested it, but I did put some rainbow fish in the in an aquarium and shove it in like the family room. So that was fun, you know, just a little bit more rainbow in the house. So yeah, you can see that I changed the swatch on the makeup chair, and then I'm adding like some more bright pink things. Like I add like the terrarium and all that stuff. I wanted it to be like brighter than I kept being, because the like the ceiling light just isn't that powerful, but I put in a couple white lights, and yeah, so okay, so the present stacks, my concept for this was that those were like the you know, like the PR packages that get sent to a beauty guru. So just like a ton of those. I am really proud. I used the there's, you know how there's that positivity challenge that's happening? I used that, like, stack of boxes as a little side table. Oh, these are her plaques. Those are her YouTuber plaques. I used a little stack of presents as, like, a side table and put a little cute little, like, you know, the cat succulent on top of it. But I found out when I was doing screenshots that it's actually hovering slightly. And so is, okay, the green bedroom is by far my personal favorite. Like, I feel the best about it. I think that it's adorable. And it would even work well kind of just as, like, I don't know, not quite a house because it doesn't have a full kitchen. But I think it works really well as, like, a single apartment in the back of the house. But yeah, I dearly love this one. But I did also find something in here that's floating. I just figured out the tab camera thing, so the screenshots on this sucker are rough, but they are much, much better than what I've had previously. Because, yeah, your girl figured out the tab camera. There might be a billion of them. I'm sorry about that. I just am very proud of this house. But yeah, like, see how cute. It was so easy to make something, like, cute and green. Adorable. And there's so many versions of green that can, like, go together, I think. Because even with the pink thing, it was hard to incorporate, like, baby pink and hot pink into the same thing without making it look like a child lived there. But here you can do, like, some more warm greens and some mint green and some emerald and, you know. And I just love adding 4 carpets on top of each other, so sorry about it. I know that arrangement doesn't look the best particularly, but it's about trying your best, believing in yourself, and something else. I don't know. But yeah, like, see, even the bathroom's so cute. I love it. I don't know how to take good screenshots of bathrooms, because even with the tab camera mode on, I don't know how to, like, get far back enough to take a picture of the whole bathroom. So some of the bathrooms have screenshots and some of them don't. But take my word for it that all the bathrooms that don't have screenshots are also cute. I am a little mad. I went into live mode for this for a little bit just to, like, put the fish in the aquariums and stuff, which meant that some of the plants are, like, out of season in the screenshots, which is, I wish that they all were, like, lush and green so you could, you know, not that you could really play in this house if you didn't have seasons. I guess you could, but I do use a lot of seasons build mode items. Yeah, so I have in the corner, like, I didn't get creative with this at all. I, like, fully was like, oh, the green sim is very, like, planty and outdoorsy, whatever. I don't care. You fight me. And then there's a little chimney on it. Isn't that cute? But so I gave the sim, like, the beehive, a bunch of planter boxes, and then the florist arranging table as, like, their hobby items. Just because, you know, it's cute. I just thought it was cute. Yeah, I really just love the way that this whole thing ended up. I put, like, a little counter next to the fridge with a little coffee maker on it, so it can be, like, you stumble out of bed, you get your coffee, like, and then you can maybe be awake enough to go inside and face your insane family. But yeah, like, again, 4 rugs on top of each other. I just don't care. Shout out to James from the YouTube channel whose name I can never remember, The Sim Supply, for inspiring me to use just, like, tiny counters and tables next to things. I never do that. I always try and make them, like, all fit together nicely. But I realized, like, in his screenshots and things, it looks really nice to have just, like, it doesn't look weird at all to have just, like, a counter by itself. So yeah, and then this is just, like, a little kid's toy chest. So if you have kids in this house, maybe they'll fuck that whole thing up by getting into the toy chest. Hopefully not. I also don't know why you would ever have children in this place. Yeah, so I cut out quite a bit of me just, like, arranging the backyard a little bit. I kept in all the decorating, but I wanted to, like, not film me trying to figure out where I wanted to place everything and stuff. So what I ended up doing here, I'm just adding a couple dormers because the back looked really sad. It looked sad and it looked lonely, so I gave it some windows. But yeah, and I gave the windows don't quite fit onto the dormers, but it doesn't look funny from a distance, so it's fine. But yeah, so what I kind of went with in the backyard is, like, obviously on the one side it's, like, the green apartment, and then you have the pool, which I wanted this to be bougie. For some reason, I decided I didn't want to keep in me building the pool, but I did want to keep in all of this footage of me putting bushes on the front of the house. You're so welcome. Again, 20 hours. So look at this and imagine it happening 20 times slower. And then you know where I was at mentally this break. But yeah, I wanted the outside of the house to be kind of like classic and like, I don't know, like English countryside-ish. I don't know why. It doesn't look right at all with the palm trees, but it does look really cute. Like, I just really like the view off the back of this house. So if you wanted, you could go in and remove all these like flower things and put palm trees in instead. But I just liked, I liked the way it looked with the outside of the house. And I like doing little bits of like natural areas around my build so that you can kind of imagine it being incorporated into a landscape instead of everything being like super perfectly like symmetrical and everything. I like clutter, including in my landscaping. So I used a lot of like pink and purple bushes and flowers and stuff like that. I built just a little green area on either side of the house. This does mean that you cannot access the backyard any way other than walking through the house, but that's kind of fine with me. But yeah, I don't know. I shout out to little Simsy for all of my ideas for landscaping. I know she says she's bad at landscaping, but I don't know how to do it at all. And so watching her do it in speed build is very helpful. So yeah, for the front yard, I just made it really simple because normally I would rely on the presence of children to like decide what I would put in the front yard. But again, I wanted this to look very like designed and like upkept and stuff. So I have a little bit of a flower bed in front and in back of the fountain, just with like the rose bushes and wildflowers and stuff. And then I have a little garden, like a little pond to one side with like a little easel in it. Again, I wanted it to be classic. And then on the left, there's a wishing well and a dogwood. But here I wanted, because I'm dumb, I really liked this shape just as kind of like a luxury shape. I think it's a cabochon or whatever, but it looks like a cut jewel basically. So I built like the pool to be that shape and a little I don't know, kind of like dining structure to be that shape. One thing that I have never successfully done before, and I still have no idea how I actually did it this time, was making a little structure that had a different foundation height. Like, I've never done that before successfully. Every time I've like watched so many tutorials and making like split level houses and stuff, it's never worked for me. But this time it did, so that was nice. So yeah, it's just a little kind of dining, entertaining area out back, because there's the pool, there's the tables in here, and then like in this little structure, hot tub obviously, and then some deck chairs. And then I do have like by the greenhouse like a little fire pit and some chairs and like a guitar, I don't know, in case you want to have a little campfire sing along, IDK. But yeah, so it's just, again, everything on the bottom floor is kind of like simple. I made the pool black instead of white just because it looked better with the outdoor tiles, and I really loved using these tiles. But, you know, it's like that. So yeah, there's a grill and a bar, and then I think there ends up being like 3 tables-ish, maybe. Are there 4? I forget. Inside that structure. And then I did the same thing that every single other person does with the lounge chairs outside, using the ottoman and wicker chairs from, I don't know, Perfect Patio or something like that. I'm not creative, okay? I just had a lot of time on my hands. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a bar. I wanted this to be like just kind of an entertaining outdoor area. You should be able to sit in most of those chairs. Some of them you definitely can't, but I don't really care. It's not like you're going to have a billion Sims here anyways. And also there's like seating outside of the thing, so fight me, you know? Just fight me. I don't know, I'm getting so aggressive. I just really like this build, and I'm very proud of it, and I feel like I have done more. Again, this is the longest that any single like project's ever taken me on The Sims. Like, I've definitely played Legacies for longer than 20 hours, but I've never built or made Sims for like a single household for 20 entire hours before. I don't know how other people do it so fast. Like, I've watched mansion builds where it's like 30 minutes and like they've sped it up 8 times or something, and I'm like, what the fuck? I just don't. I get way too precious about it. Like, here, I'm just spending forever applying like little lamps to the out, you know, and really you don't need those because they're just putting a ton of lighting around the edge, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything with this, because I always do that where I'll like forget to add, I don't know, like lighting on the outside of the house so you can see at night, or little decorations or things like that, you know, ways for you to get drinks. So I added a little cooler. Like, I wanted it to be thorough. and hopefully it was, except for the fact that I fucking forgot to put a bedroom door on the blue room. I know it looks like I did in this build, but I forgot it, and it's too late now because it's already on the gallery. I didn't notice until like 100 people had downloaded the house. Oh, I deleted a lot of footage of me fucking around with the roof on that. What I ended up doing was just putting like square ones, because I wanted it to be clear from the top that it was still that kind of like diamondy, like cabochon shape. I'm saying that horribly wrong, and I know that, but yeah, so I wanted it to still look that shape from the top, so what I ended up doing was putting like 3 just of your regular gabled roof, and then so it's like little dormers kind of on the sides, and then I just made the parts peeking out black and gave it like a black trim. So yeah, here I am changing it to be a little bit more like modern, a little bit less like classic bougie, because I picked those stairs out a while ago. But yeah, so that's kind of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, God knows why. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate you, and I will see you all next time.